I kill some time with Yoichi, eat dinner while I'm at it, and when I'm done, I head back home. I boot up my computer, waiting for the familiar startup sound. I'm surprised Sora isn't here. Well, she's here in spirit. But am instead greeted by a delightful new recording. I immediately go into the settings and revert it. The virus I've picked up seems awfully persistent. Might be a good idea to change the locks on my place. I'm actually not joking. I begin looking up locksmiths online. One thing leads to another, and I end up surfing the web for a while. It's 5 till 9. I step away from my computer and fidget with my phone. Sending the message at exactly 9 would probably be coming on too strong, or at least be a little off-putting. Fretting about this is stressing me out. Listen, like I said, there was no reason for you to brag to Yoichi about getting Kudra's number. She was not giving you her number with that kind of intention, so you should not be worrying about coming on too strong by not messaging her at exactly 9, because she doesn't see you that way. Yet. Alright, give it some time. I end up sending the message at 9:03. Maybe Kudra has been waiting this whole time, since I get a reply right away. Thank you very much for the message. It's me, Kujo. With my real girl voice. It's a modest, reserved, and somewhat formal message. However, I'm antisocial and hardly have any friends who are girls. I hardly have any friends, you mean? Nah, who am I trying to fool? I don't have a single one. I mean, yeah, Sora doesn't count, so, you know. At any rate, even a tepid conversation with a girl is a thing of joy to me. I'm grinning like an idiot. I must never let Sora or Yoichi see me like this. I mean, there is one thing that is seeing you like this. It's the plushie that's potentially not on the bookshelf. I'm trying to keep my enthusiasm in check. I do my level best to prepare a cool and composed reply. What do you want to talk about? I reply. Not even a minute later, Kudra zips back a reply. How did the authorities react? The authorities? Yikes. Talk about stuffy. It's one thing to be a little uptight in person, but even on a chat app? I try not to pay it any mind, refocusing myself, and tell her the same thing I told Yoichi. I detoured by the park on the way back home, but the statue was no longer there. Probably. They're definitely transporting it to a safer place. Because I can guarantee you, by the looks of the statue, it looked very brittle. That's all I'm gonna say. I typed what I muttered as is in reply. It would appear so. Perhaps the police investigation will shed some light. Oh wait, that's her. Look, I'm not gonna go back and say it in my fake girl voice, okay? This is just a hypothesis, but it's probably that statue that... It's possible that statue was actually once a human being. She gets it. She says it's just a hypothesis, but the message seems strangely confident. Slightly at a loss as to how I should answer her. I sit there with my fingers hovering over the screen. Look, all I'm going to say is, Occam's razor does not apply to this situation. They already applied Occam's razor, where the simplest solution is most likely the correct one, right? Where in this instance, the simplest solution is, oh, it's just a regular statue and someone is pulling a prank. That does not work here. Not with supernatural shit. Paranormal shit. If that girl had once been an actual person, how could a person be turned into a stone statue? Like encasing them in cement. I was gonna say it looked like it was made of concrete, but I was not confident in that assumption. That make this whole bizarro murder, make this some bizarro murder case. If that's what's going on, there'll be a huge uproar. It also means Shiro Mitsugawa's name will get dragged through the mud yet again. That'd be kind of a bummer, to say the least. But that's not the kind of tongue-in-cheek response Kujo was likely after. I guess she really is into all that occult stuff, huh? I never really bought into it much myself. I'm sorry, I was only joking. I'm sensing the bewilderment behind my hesitance to respond. Kujo follows up with that. A little flustered by her apology, I try to give a non-committal reply. You know, a lot of strange things have been going down lately. I try to turn the conversation to the hair clip, but maybe she's realized that talking about the cult isn't going to help the conversation along. Since she sends back another curt message. I'm fine, thank you. We exchange some idle chit-chat until Kujo wishes me goodnight, signaling an end to our talk. I put my phone on sleep mode, set it next to my computer, and sprawl out on my bed when something catches my eye. Well, like I said, that mysterious plushie. That reminds me, I never did check with Sora whether this was hers. I reach out and grab it by its torso, head. Anyway, I grab it and pull it over. It's oddly heavy, unsettlingly warm too. Maybe it's like the stone statue. This thing's insides are also alive. I try fiddling with the zipper running down the length of its face, but it doesn't budge. Just for decoration, huh? I mean, to be fair, if it was an actual plushie, the zip would definitely be a decoration, because I don't think there would be a gap in between the zipper just to fit a mouth. That's all I'm gonna say. I mutter to myself, setting down the plushie and getting to my feet. We've had a huge earthquake, a broken sacred relic, a cursed hairpin, and now a human petrification. I'm afraid to see what happens next. Scratching the back of my head, I make my way to the bath. The plushie didn't do the weird changing of facial expression and color. 420! Oh, the funny number! I wake up a few seconds before my alarm and stop it as soon as it rings. I kick off my comforter and get up. Rubbing the sleep from my eyes, I stumble to the bathroom. After heeding nature's call, I brush my teeth and wash my face. I grab a jelly drink from the fridge and walk over to my PC. After it boots up, I begin checking the daily news sites while changing into my uniform.
Huh?
I grunt absent-mindedly. Missing girl discovered a statue. Damn. Okay. I was gonna hypothesize that. Well, I already said that the police knew, and they were just not saying anything to not cause uproar. But now, someone either leaked it to the news, or this is actually their first instance of finding a petrified person. The headline doesn't make any sense. I continue reading the article. She was last seen on the night of the 18th at the cram school she attended. She never returned home, and late at night, as her parents grew increasingly concerned, they contacted the authorities. A citizen subsequently reported encountering an unusual statue at a local park. The police investigation uncovered that the object in question was not in fact the statue at all. The girl's belongings were found inside the petrified bag, and data was recovered from her petrified cell phone's memory. Really? The fact that they were able to obtain data on her phone means that the rest of the phone was intact. The guts of the phone were intact. Which means it's either, well, first of all, worst case scenario, her skin turned into stone, and the only thing that's still alive about her are her organs and the rest of her body. Or, best case scenario, it's more of a stone coating, and you can break her out of it. Listen, all I'm gonna say is, it probably isn't the latter. As much as I wish it was. Rest in peace. Several other pivotal factors further confirmed the identity of the statue as the girl herself. How her skin was turned to stone is still unknown. I'm not used to seeing his character sprite. I go through several news sites, checking the facts at each one, but they're all completely consistent. This is just a hypothesis, but it's possible that the statue was actually once a human being. Yeah, maybe you're gonna take a maybe you should take it more seriously now about her occult shit. Maybe you should stop dismissing her like the teacher does. Kuja's message from the night before pops into my mind. It can't be. What she was afraid of turned out to be true. No, the truth is undeniable now. That was no statue. It was a person. The fingernail wasn't some prop set up by the sculptor for an elaborate prank. It was the girl's actual fingernail, and this is why I think her skin was turned to stone. Because if it was a coating, her nail wouldn't have fallen off. You know what I mean? The blood was real, and her skin turned to stone. Which means under the stone was once flesh and warm blood. Yeah, she's dead. Like, I don't think there's a way to bring her back unless you can unpetrify her, I guess. Because at least it's not her whole body. So when I said that they were bringing her to a safe place so that no one potentially breaks her, that wouldn't really pan out as much as I thought before, because I was thinking whole body, like everything from the inside out was petrified, but no, it's just the outer layer. But she's still dead. I checked my timeline on Twitter. I don't think that's a good name change, bro. Oh, well, if this game came out now, it would be like Z or Y, you know? A strange disease is turning people to stone. Person. A strange disease has turned a person to stone. There hasn't been any other news, so there hasn't been any news of anyone else turning to stone. Yet. You can smell a whiff of perverse delight running through the posts among the fear and consternation. One theory claims it's a virus from outer space, and it's crazy how many people are actually standing up for that view. Listen, if there's no explanation from official sources, people are going to start spreading conspiracy theories. That's just how the world works. A handful of locals or just people who know more about the town are even drawing connections to that lousy anime. Yeah, it all started when they tried to make an anime to promote the town. Apparently, there's a monster in it that turns people into stone. Okay, there might be some truth into what they're saying. My theory, for how early this theory would be, is that whoever's doing this, right, is using the events of the anime and making them real or something of the other. It's kind of hard to explain it, but it's like she's turned. There's not a monster in this world that turns people to stone. She's turned to stone because someone is using that monster from the anime as a motive to commit whatever the fuck they're doing. That faction is claiming that the earthquake awakened the monster, and that it's what's what's responsible. That it is what is responsible. Yeah, it's weird that it's what's kind of works. Responsible for turning the girl into stone. Until someone deals with the monster, this mystery disease isn't going away, or so they say. This is nuts. Yeah, but I can't say that. Yeah, I can't say with complete confidence that they're wrong, and that's frustrating. If someone was turned to stone, that's crazy in and of itself, and yet I saw it with my own eyes. The virus from outer space, the mysterious monster, bizarre as they sound, one of them might even be right. The outer space thing could even explain the earthquake, right? If something big enough hit Japan close enough to the city, it could cause an earthquake, right? I mean, and then the other explanation, the other question would be, how would no one have seen something hit Earth or something or the other, right? I don't know. I'm just saying there's plausible reasoning. I think I'm saying it correctly. That you could come to that, you could reach that conclusion, you know? With a mutter, I dismiss the whole situation as someone else's problem and close my laptop. Probably shouldn't be doing that, but sure. First Cooter's paranormal phenomenon is definitely tied to this petrification. Now a disease turning people to stone. And from the way Kuja's been acting, I'm starting to think there's some link between the two. Oh, he's not completely dumb. He understands that it might soon become his problem. But until then, it's not his problem. What was it Kuja said again? Something about a curse?
神器が壊れたせいで白光川に災いが降りかかった。なわけないか。
いいえ、その通り。正解よ。
I was waiting for it to start talking.
Huh?
I hear an unfamiliar girl's voice prompting me to turn around so fast. You could practically hear the whoosh. Nothing. No one is there. Of course no one's there. This is my apartment. I'm the only one who should be here.
空か？なんか仕込んだのか？おい！
I hate that voice sounds like someone from a different game. I was wrong about Kika. I was right about Riri. I don't want to be wrong again. Alright? I don't want to go 2-1. If it is a best of 3, you know? No response. Am I imagining things? Hearing things? Or maybe I'm a victim of a paranormal phenomenon of my own. Technically, I guess you could say that.
くそ、バカみて、アホか。
Nah, the paranormal phenomenon that's going on with Kakeru is that he's the main protagonist of an eroge. And he has a sprite. That is the biggest paranormal phenomenon that's going on with him. I try to shame myself into acting tougher after getting spooked by that voice. I gulp down my jelly drink while roughly scratching my head. Unable to completely shake off the feeling of dread, I quickly finished getting ready for the day while constantly checking over my shoulder. I then make my way to school earlier than usual. I guess that makes sense.
そろそろと思ったけれど。
Why are those like their hands? That
もう少し様子を見た方が良さそうね。
as long as this piece of shit isn't like one of as long as they aren't one of those Cube motherfuckers, right? Not the turning people into magical girls one thing, but everything else about Cube. I'm not going to spoil the events of Madoka Magica. Nothing from class is sticking even more so than usual. Yoichi started chattering away at me the moment I walked into the classroom, and Sora, not knowing that I left early, waited for me until she was almost late for school. So you can add guilt over that to my list of concerns. God, I would feel so guilty. During lunch, the case of the petrified girl ends up being the talk of the school. Kujo looks more tense than usual too. Also, the more I remember it, the less confident I feel that the voice I heard was just my ears playing tricks on me. No way am I crazy enough to hear a voice so crystal clear like that. So then, what did I hear? And for that matter, what's the deal with that plushie that's just appeared in my room one day? I'm waiting for him to make the connection. I mean, he's probably going to make the connection right now, right? Is it some cursed toy? Or maybe an artifact spirit that brings good luck? I hope so. I hope it's not the main... I hope that plushie isn't the reason why this shit is happening. I heave a brief sigh and collapse on my desk. Maybe I should try talking to Ms. Narase about it. Or maybe I could bring it up to Kujo, like, you know, I'm having a run-in with the paranormal too, or something. I'd bet it'd make a good conversation starter. Great conversation starter, even. That kind of wishful thinking is the only thing keeping me from being totally down in the dumps. God, I'm so pathetic. Look, it's a way to show Kujo that you aren't dismissing her occult shit anymore. At the sound of the bell, we stand and bow. That's the last morning class. And maybe my mood will improve a little after I eat some lunch and fill my belly with some more jelly. I only said it because it rhymed. Oh crap.
かけるくん、ランチの時間よ。
He forgot lunch, didn't he? Actually, of course he forgot lunch. He left early. Yoichi comes over to my desk with a convenience store bag in hand.
どうしたの？食べないの？
食べたいけど飯がない。
え、買ってないの？
朝買うの忘れた。購買行ってくるわ。
じゃあ僕も行こう。
先食っててもいいぞ。
一人で食べたくないし、ジュース買うから一緒に。なに
Earpiece and alarm, okay. Out of nowhere, the fire alarm goes off. A shrill, blaring sound.
何？避難訓練？
I mean, I understand that it needs to be very noticeable.
それなら事前になんかあるだろう。連絡とか。
But still...
なんでそんな冷静なの？男前で濡れちゃうんだけど。
めっちゃビビってるっつーの。お前の方が余裕あるじゃねえか。
てかどうしよう。避難した方がいいの？去年あったよね。誰かがいたずらで押したこと。
とりあえず先生とか来るまで。
My phone vibrates, so I pull it out of my pocket and check it. Sora's calling me. She texts me constantly, but she hardly ever calls.
どったの？
妹から電話。
紹介して。
バーカ。
I cut Yoichi down to size before answering the call.
もしも、
Sora's shriek pierces my ear and cuts me off mid-hello. I blink suddenly, serious. Sora only calls me Oni-chan when she really needs my help.
どうした？
クラスの人が教室に火つけた。
は？火をつけたって、放火が？
I find myself yelling the question. All eyes turn to me and the classroom works itself up into a frenzy, but I can't be bothered to worry about that. I mean, they shouldn't be panicked about it. They should follow the procedures. But, like, the problem is I can guarantee you they thought it was a prank. They thought it was a prank.
なんでそんなことになったんだ？
よくわかんない。なんか急に大声出して。
逃げられるか？
燃えてて無理。
窓からは？
そっちも無理。
くそ。
Wait, hang on. I need to hear that again. Not the flames everywhere part. They just started shouting and then okay, so they fucking spontaneously combusted. Like I'm about to. Never mind. I'm not gonna. Every exit is sealed off. It's not a drill. So the fire engine should be coming any moment now.
電話切るな。そのままにしておけ。お前何組だ？
D。
待ってろ。今行く。
I slipped my phone in my pocket, leaving the call live.
なんかやばい雰囲気を感じたんだけど。
火事だ。1階が燃えてる。
どうすれば？
Yoichi, buddy, you're right next to him. You didn't hear him yell out about a fire happening? I can't afford to stand around and deal with Yoichi's panicking. I dash out into the hall. What am I going to do? Even if I go to the first floor, what can I even do? First, I fill a bucket with water. No.
新見くん。
Kuta seems to have followed me for some reason. I really can't spare the time to talk to her.
放火って聞こえたけど。
妹のクラスメイトが火をつけたらしい。
火をつけたってどうやって？
知らねえし、悪い。後にしてくれ。
I pulled a fire extinguisher from its storage container, and rushed toward the stairs. Kuja follows.
危ねえぞ。教室で待ってろ。
新見くんだって。
妹が逃げ遅れてるんだ。
力になれるかもしれない。
It's useless arguing with her, so we rush down the stairs.
お
Oh,
いおい。
fire and brimstone.
何これ？
The first floor is a sea of flames, but there's something strange about them. The windows, walls, and floors are burning up, yet I don't feel any heat. There's no smoke coming from the flames either. I can only tell they're hot by moving right next to them. There's something peculiar about the way the fire is burning too. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like they're not burning any material. They're just there. In any case, it's a bizarre sight. A bunch of students are crowded together, watching it from a distance.
ぼーっとしてる場合かよ。
I'm sure this is greater for the bitrate. With all the fucking ash particles everywhere. I'm chastising myself as well as the others. I'm no better than them right now. I pull out the pin on the extinguisher and point the nozzle at the blaze and squeeze down the lever. Oh, all that. Oh, damn. They got an animation budget and shit. The fire extinguisher.mp4. A white mist engulfs the area 10 feet in front. The can runs dry in a mere 10 or 15 seconds, and I reel at how pathetically short it lasted. However, that made my blood run colder than that, but made my what makes my blood run colder than that is
嘘だろ。消えない。
I knew it wouldn't do anything. The flames are still burning unaffected. I finally understand why the students and teachers nearby are just standing there in confusion. The flames don't just look abnormal. Did someone spill some kind of chemical? Well, no. It's good that you use the fire extinguisher instead of water, because that could have been a possibility, right? And then if you splashed water on the chemicals, it could go everywhere. I'm comparing the chemical to water, as in it would be insoluble in water, so then it wouldn't douse the flame. Yeah, but that could be a possibility. Could have. Not anymore. I'm not going to resolve this by thinking about it. I'll try another extinguisher. If one full extinguisher isn't enough, then I'll use up as many as it takes.
待って。
I walked toward the storage box, but Kujo grabs my arm.
なんだ。
無駄だと思う。別の方法で火を消さないと。
別の方法って。
I'm panicking so much that I snap at her. Kujo, on the other hand, is trying her best to compose it. Trying her best to be composed as she reasons with me. Look, all I'm saying is that it's very justified why he's so panicked, especially if his sister is in one of the classrooms.
新見くんはユーザー。
What?
は？
That's what I'm saying.
分かった。説明は後でするから。ここは私に任せて。
待て。任せてってどうするつもりだ。
火をつけた人を見つける。
見つけてどうする。
見つかったら多分消せる。私なら。
I don't understand what she could possibly mean, but her firm gaze is reassuring. There's something in it that makes me want to believe her. I swear to God, if she turns into a magical girl, my thought of the plushie being like Kyubey is gonna. Don't you dare.
本当にできるんだな。
Did I? There's something in it that makes me want to believe her. I think I said that.
確約はできないけど、やってみせる。
そら！
I take out my phone and shout her name. Oh yeah, he's still on call with her.
放火したやつ、まだそばにいるか？
いる。なんか規制聞こえる。怖くて外出らんない。
わかった、待ってろ。九条、D 組だ。規制上げてるやつ。
D 組ね。わかった。
俺が先に行く。九条はついてきてくれ。
でも
口論はなしにしようぜ。
I take off my blazer and fan away the flames that won't go extinguished. That won't be extinguished with fanning it away. Maybe I can't put them out, but they at least flicker it. They at least flicker to the side of them. Flicker to the side a moment. Still no smoke, and despite the sea of flames, there are a lot of safe areas. I still don't know why there's ash, because it's not burning anything. We can make it through.
行くぞ。
Keeping an eye out for patches of hallway that aren't ablaze, I dash through, carving a path by brushing the flames aside with my blazer. Putting the blazer on you. Never mind. And completely avoiding the flames proves difficult, and they occasionally lick at my arms and legs. I'm getting flashbacks to when I used to cook for myself. The pain is about as bad as when I accidentally touched a hot frying pan. However, neither my blazer nor any part of me that the flames touch actually catches fire. Admittedly, I have never seen a real fire on this scale, so I don't know exactly what it acts like, but this is definitely strange.
やめろ！やめろよ！
The onlookers go silent as an unsettling scream echoes through the hall. Oh, fuck. There in the center of a cylindrical wall of flame, a boy is thrashing around, head and arms flailing unnaturally as he rages.
あの人ね。
見つけたぞ。どうする？
10メートルまで近づかないと。
10メートル？相当近いぞ。
分かってるけど、試したらそれが限界だったの。
わかんねえ。その理由も後で教えろよ。
I brush more flames aside with my blazer as we close the distance.
俺の力が
Another scream. A pillar of fire erupts from the ceiling. The flames wreath, I think so, around the student and grows as he cries and grow as he around the student and grow as he cries out. I can't get any closer. Damn, the front of Class D's room looks like the gates of hell itself.
力が勝手にあっつくっそなんだよあいつ中二か
やっぱりユーザーだ、あの人。
そのユーザーって何なんだ
後で話すから。ありがとう。やっと射程距離に入った。
超能力でも使う気か
その通り。
はあ
Kudo extends her left hand.
低劣な盗人の力。せめて世のため人のために。
Fuck, I did it again. She's muttering something under her breath. Don't tell me it's some sort of incantation. But maybe that's exactly what it is. A pattern. No, an emblem? What the hell is that? I don't know. A mysterious glowing blue symbol appears on the back of Kujo's hand.
九条なんだよそれ
後で話すから。どれ？あの人を狂気に走らせたのは。
Kujo hesitates. Her glowing left hand still outstretched toward the male student. I don't have the foggiest idea what she's doing. I'm fully occupied waving my blazer around, pushing the flames aside so they don't engulf Kujo. Of course, between me wildly waving around my jacket and Kujo's light show, we're bound to draw attention, no matter how crazy this guy is, and he turns our way.
なんだよ来るんじゃねえあっち行ってろ九条
Face full of fire, I guess. The flames rush at us like a tsunami, and I instinctively shield Kujo from them. The flames pass over us and scatter to the walls and to the floor and walls.
ニミ君大丈夫？
俺は大丈夫だ九条は平気か
ごめんなさい。ありがとう。大丈夫。
腕を振ったら炎がこっちに来たぞあいつ炎を操ってるみたいに
I don't think controlling is the right word in this situation.
多分そうだと思う。
あいつも超能力者だって言うのか
今はそういう解釈でいい。
否定して欲しかったんだけどな
逃げちゃう。射程の外に。
I look over my shoulder and see the guy stepping back, still screaming. From the look in his eyes, he's totally lost it. What eyes? And there's a glowing symbol on his face. Just like the one on Kujo's hand.
なるほど超能力か10メートルだな
ええ
あいつの動きを止めるあとは任せる
新見くん。
I ignore her and charge headlong at him. If this were a manga, I'd be shouting courageously while I do it. But instead, let's just say that if I were grinding my teeth together right now, I'd be crying like a little bitch from the pain. If I weren't grinding my teeth together right now. So I shout out my war cry in my head. Yeah. The unnatural flames burn me everywhere. The intense pain assaults me, the sensation of being sealed alive. and yet my clothes don't catch fire. Therefore, these flames have to be fake. Meaning the pain is an illusion too. That's a good mindset, I guess.
こっちに来るな
A gout of flame flies at me. I plunge straight through it, grabbing onto the student. I pin him to the ground. My phone falls from my pocket and hits the floor, and I hear Sora's voice coming from it. She can probably see me from the classroom. Hang on, Sora. Leave it to me. Or rather, leave it to her.
九条
新見くん、あなたのこと尊敬する。
With a line that would make me blush under ordinary circumstances, Kujo extends her left hand once more. Listen. Kakeru is on his Sigma male grind set. The flames don't hurt him anymore because he convinced himself that pain is a weakness and the flames are not real. The symbol on her hand is the same as disguise. Wait, actually, the design is different. Is it some sort of counter to his power to control flame? Speaking of which...
離せよじっとしてろ九条まだか
ごめんなさい。何かその人が身につけているものを。
身につけているものなんだどうすればいい
身につけているもの。多分アクセサリー、髪飾りみたいな。視界に入らないとダメなの。
何がしてえのかやっぱわかんねえけどやめろ暴れんなうっせ黙ってろ
Look... Kakeru doesn't have powers. Why is he doing all the work? Giving into my anger, I slug the guy in the face, as you should. His head hits the floor and bounces off with a dull thud, and after a groan, he stops flailing around. Oh shit, did I kill him? I panic for an instant before the burning pain brings me back to what I need to do. Gotta find the jewelry. She said a hair clip, but a dude wouldn't be wearing that. Where could it be, damn it?
首からぶら下げているやつよ。銀の十字架。
That's that voice again. It's fucking Kyubey. Please. Here's the thing, right? I know Kyubey's voice sounds similar. It would be so fucking funny if they have the same voice actress. I don't think they would, because it's very... I'm not going to say rare. I don't know that much about visual novel voice actresses, but I don't think it is common for anime voice actors, and visual novel voice actors to be one and the same. I don't know, you know. Maybe I'm capping there, you know. Now's not the time to worry about who it is.
信じるぞ
I flip the unconscious guy over from onto his back. A bit sus there. And there it is. A silver cross. I grab it and yank it at the thin chain with all my might. Hoisting it up.
九条これだ
ありがとう。お願い、成功して。
She closes her glowing left hand into her fist. I feel an odd discomfort for a split second in the palm of my hand. It's like the thing that should be clenched in my fist disappeared.
できた。
The cross that was in my hand has appeared in Kujo's. What on earth?
すぐにその男から離れなさい。
That voice again. I instinctively follow its advice. Its advice. jumping back and grabbing some distance between myself and the boy. And then it happens. Oh, he's going Super Saiyan. He should still be unconscious, but the student's eyes pop out, and he screams as he scratches at the symbol on his face. The flames near him, no, every flame throughout the hallway suddenly quivers and goes flying straight at him. A hail of arrows and spears of fire. A tempest of flame. Kudra gasps. I wanted to cover her, but I couldn't get to her in time. I hit the desk as a vortex of flame engulfs the boy. I can only watch in horror. So I said spontaneous combustion. Now it's the opposite. A death cry. It fades off into the distance, along with the flames. It's almost as if nothing ever happened, as nothing ever happens. The flames vanish as quickly as a bubble bursting, leaving no trace behind. What the hell was that?
Mimika.
Ah,
I don't know why Kudra said my name, but I reply anyway, as I get up to examine the fallen student.
生きてるよね。
多分な。
The boy's eyes are rolled back into his head, and he's foaming at the mouth. Oh, he's fine then. He's curled up in the fetal position, his fists balled up near his chin, twitching and convulsing. Oh, he's just having a seizure, you know, he's fine. The symbol on his cheek is gone. His clothes are fine. Not a burn on him. It seems the same goes for Kujo and myself. Despite running through the sea of fire, it's unscathed. No, it's... He had a cross necklace, right? So it wasn't regular fire, it was sacred fire, right? It was holy fire. It doesn't burn the skin, it burns the soul.
新見くん、上着と。
Kujo collects both the blazer and the cell phone I dropped earlier and hands them to me. I give her my thanks and take them. After what we went through, I have no choice but to admit it. He was using some superpower that let him control flames.
サイレンの音。
やっと消防車が来たか。ここから離れた方が。
Yeah, she'd probably collect his sister first. I take a powerful shot to the gut. Sora glomps onto me, wrapping both arms around my waist. I look up and see all the trapped students starting to evacuate. Several of them are shaken up and crying, while others are silent, surveying the area with mouths agape in confusion. I would be confused too. To them, the fire had just vanished of its own accord.
もう大丈夫だ。
I set my hand on Sora's head and stroke her hair. Kujo watches us with a smile. This is kind of embarrassing.
ありがとう、新見くん。
何が何だかわけわかんねえ。なんで礼を言われてるのかも。ちゃんと話してくれよ。
うん。約束は守ります。
Her tone is a tad stiff. Kujo pulls her gaze away from us and turns around. I follow her stare as I try to calm Sora down. He's watching the evacuating students. The teachers are barking instructions. You know, they've got some nerve, considering they stood there as slack-jawed as everyone else. I absentmindedly chastise them to myself. A short time afterward, every student in the school is ordered to assemble in the gymnasium to await further instructions. They make us wait about 3 minutes. The principal comes out and, without attempting to explain the earlier incident, briefly announces that everyone is free to go home for the day, effectively dismissing us. Okay, I was gonna say, if they're like, okay guys, it seems that the fires didn't damage any property on the school, you're free to go back to classes. I'd be like, bitch, after that traumatic experience, I don't think anyone wants to go back to class. Since I'm worried about Sora, I decide to walk her back to my folks' place, or so I planned at least. However, given Kujo and I had been witnessed plunging into the heart of the conflagration, in the heart of that conflagration, there was no way they were going to just let us leave without asking us a few questions first. I entrust Sora to a friend of hers, who apparently lives nearby, and Kujo and I offer our explanation to the firefighters. We limit ourselves to only telling them about the unusual nature of the fire. Normally they would never buy our story, but with the additional evidence of videos provided by some of the onlookers, they're forced to accept it. I mean, there's also very physical evidence by the lack of evidence of there being any fire, you know? It burned unnaturally, and it went out just as unnaturally, and the videos prove it. Things don't go as smoothly at our next questioning. We get a very welcome talking to from the head teacher of our grade. I can't believe how reckless that was. You two could have died in there. I get annoyed at the pointless lecture, which he of course notices, so naturally he starts chewing me out even worse. After he finally winds down his sermon and lets us go, Ms. Narase comes out with us and says,
あんな風に怒ることないのにね。おろおろしてただけのくせに、あのハゲ。
That cheers me up a little. Well, yeah, she has a sprite, and she's a woman.
やっと解放されたぜ。
The chances of her being a potential love interest are like 75%.
終わった後の方が大変だったかも。
So of course she'd be a good teacher. We trudge through the front gate. The fire engines seem to have left. Those firefighters must have been awfully confused. They rushed to the scene only to find no trace of a fire, and on top of that, the students gave them a story that made no sense. Don't worry, they have cameras. Well, whatever. Their problem, not mine. Is this going to be a regular thing? Where is this going to be his catchphrase where he says, "Not their problem, not mine," and then it becomes his problem. It will always become his problem.
お疲れさん。
お疲れ様。今日はもう休むよね。
そうだな。まずは飯食わねえとな。腹減って死にそう。
じゃあ一緒に食べない？約束したから。
ああ、あの話か。別に明日でもいいぞ。九条も疲れてるだろ。
大丈夫。
そっか。じゃあナインボール行くかな。
今の時間は多分混んでると思う。ランチタイムは主婦の人たちでいっぱいで。
Also, it would be pretty awkward for Miyako to go eat lunch at the place she works.
じゃあどっか適当に入るか。九条は弁当？
ええ。でもそうね。できれば人のいないところで話したいかも。
人のいないところか。弁当も食えるところだと俺んちくらいしか思いつかないな。
I mean, there's a place that you know that can guarantee that no one will overhear you two. There might also be a plushie there that Miyako might recognize / help you in understanding what the fuck it is. It's his room. Just go back to your dorm, alright?
お邪魔しても大丈夫？
いいのか？
ご迷惑じゃなければ。
迷惑なんてことはないけど。
Wait, hang on.
じゃあ俺んち行くか。
I didn't catch that. Oh, right.
荷物カゴに入れてね。
Wait, yeah. I'm thinking of where we could sit down and eat without being bothered. My place is the only thing I can think of. Let's just say that I didn't read that part. There have been a lot of instances where I've said something and then he says a similar thing after. That was one of those instances where we basically had the same thought process. I just didn't read what he said, so I went on that whole thing about going to his room.
ありがとう。
I set my bag in Kuto's bike basket, and we head off. I can't believe I'm bringing Kuto to my apartment. This is the first time I'll be having a girl over, other than Sora. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out here. Well, I wouldn't consider. Hang on. What did he say? The first time I'm having a girl over. See, I wouldn't consider Sora. I wouldn't consider Sora breaking into your room, apartment, as you having a girl over. Alright? In between our exhaustion and the obvious tension, our conversation grinds to a halt. Stewing in the awkwardness, we head toward my apartment.